The year is 2025. The world outside your window looks familiar, but beneath the surface, everything is shifting. The routines we once took for granted, commutes, commerce, the hum of daily life, are now tinged with uncertainty. There's a sense that something fundamental has changed, even if the signs are subtle at first. Everywhere people are talking about systems collapse, conversations that once revolved around politics, or the latest trends now turn to deeper questions. What happens when the structures we rely on begin to falter? How do we adapt when the world we knew starts to unravel? The old ways of doing things are breaking down. Factories stand silent, storefronts are shuttered, and the infrastructure that once held our cities together is showing its age. The cracks are no longer hidden, they're visible in every corner of our lives. Power flickers, hospital waits stretch, and grocery shelves grow sparse. Each day brings new reminders that the systems we trusted are no longer as reliable as they once were. The sense of security we once felt is slowly eroding. For years we believed we could fix these systems with money or technology. We poured resources into patching up the old, convinced that innovation alone could keep us afloat. But the quick fixes are no longer enough. But now, that belief is fading. Doubt creeps in as people realize that some problems can't be solved with a new app or a bigger budget. The uncertainty is palpable, and it's forcing us to confront uncomfortable truths. The problems run deeper than we imagined. They're not just technical, they're social, cultural, and even spiritual. The very foundations of our society are being tested, and the fractures are spreading. People are moving from passive hope to active creation. Instead of waiting for someone else to fix things, neighbors are coming together, rediscovering the power of collective action. There's a new energy in the air, a sense that change is possible, but only if we make it ourselves. Instead of waiting for leaders, they're asking, what can we build together? Right here, right now. Small groups are forming, ideas are being shared, and people are rolling up their sleeves to create solutions that work for their own communities. This is not the end of the world, but the end of a certain kind of world. It's the closing of one chapter and the uncertain, hopeful beginning of another. The sun still rises, but it shines on a landscape in transition. Centralized control is fading, community power is rising. People are stepping into roles they never imagined, taking responsibility for the well-being of their neighbors and their neighborhoods. Ordinary people are refusing to be victims of failing systems. They're finding strength in each other and in the knowledge that together they can weather the storm. They're becoming architects of their own resilience. Every repaired bike, every rebuilt shelter, every shared meal is a small act of defiance against despair. Seeds, literal and metaphorical, are being planted for a future that's more local, connected, and human. These acts of care and creation are the foundation of a new kind of society, one rooted in relationships and shared purpose. The story is about learning to thrive amidst collapse. It's about finding meaning and joy in the small moments, and building a life that's resilient, even when the world feels fragile. It's about rediscovering the strength of community. In the face of uncertainty, we're reminded that we are not alone, that together, we can create something enduring. Across the globe, people are building practical human-scale solutions. From renewable energy projects to shared meals, these efforts are lighting the way forward. The cracks in the old world are openings for something new. Where the old has failed, the new is taking root. Sometimes quietly, sometimes boldly. This is the story of how we begin again. It's a story of hope, of courage, and of the endless human capacity to adapt and create. The question is no longer how to fix the old, but how to create the new. We are inventors, dreamers, and builders, shaping a future that reflects our deepest values. And that question is sparking a quiet revolution. In the spaces between collapse and renewal, we are finding the courage to imagine and to build a world worth living in. The power grid, once invisible and reliable, is now showing its age. Extreme weather and rising demand are pushing it to the brink. Blackouts from storms and heat waves are no longer rare. Our centralized system, efficient when perfect, is brittle when disrupted. A single failure can plunge millions into darkness. The promise of constant power is slipping away. People are tired of depending on distant, fragile systems. The conversation is shifting, not just how to fix the grid, but how to build something new. Communities are imagining a future where they produce their own energy. The move is from dependence to independence. Local solutions are gaining ground. The old grid's fragility is inspiring innovation. People are taking power, literally, into their own hands. The future of energy is becoming local and resilient. Our food travels thousands of miles before reaching our plates. The global food system is efficient, but not resilient. Disruptions, fuel prices, droughts, or closed borders leave shelves empty. The fragility of this system is now impossible to ignore. People feel vulnerable, dependent on distant forces. The promise of variety and convenience came at the cost of connection, but anxiety is turning into action. Communities are looking at local land with new eyes. Empty lots and backyards are becoming gardens. The fear of scarcity is fueling a return to local food. People are reclaiming control, one small plot at a time. The focus is shifting from global to local. Community gardens and local food networks are growing. The solution is close to home. We're learning to feed ourselves together. In November 2025, Iceland made headlines around the world by declaring the potential collapse of the Amidst, a massive ocean current that acts as a climate engine for the North Atlantic, a national security threat. This was not just a scientific concern, but a matter of survival for the nation. The government's urgent announcement sent shockwaves through the international community, highlighting just how vulnerable even the most resilient societies can be in the face of planetary change. The Amidst shapes climates for millions across Europe and North America. Its powerful currents regulate temperatures, weather, and even the rhythm of the seasons. But its slowdown is accelerating, driven by melting Arctic ice and warming seas, forces unleashed by human activity. Scientists have warned for years that this system is approaching a tipping point, and now, the evidence is impossible to ignore. For Iceland, the collapse of the Amidst could mean far more than colder winters. It threatens to bring economic devastation, disrupt vital fishing industries, and upend a way of life that has endured for centuries. Communities could face food shortages, energy crises, and a future where the familiar rhythms of daily life are lost to unpredictable extremes. This is no longer a distant risk. It's a present crisis unfolding in real time. Families gather around their televisions, anxious for updates, while local leaders scramble to prepare for the unknown. The sense of urgency is palpable as the nation braces for changes that could reshape its destiny. The Amidst's fragility is a stark reminder that some systems are simply too vast, too interconnected, to be fixed with policy or technology alone. The ocean's currents do not answer to borders or politics. Their collapse would ripple across continents, affecting millions far beyond Iceland's shores. When planetary systems break, everyone feels it, no matter where they live. The consequences are shared, and the responsibility to act is collective. Iceland's struggle is a warning for us all. Iceland's warning is a wake-up call, echoing across the globe. It urges us to recognize the fragility of the systems we depend on, and to prepare for a future that may look very different from our past. The climate that allowed civilization to flourish is under threat. The landscapes that once promised abundance now face uncertainty, and the lessons of history remind us that adaptation is essential for survival. We can't assume the world will always work as it has. Each generation must confront new realities, and the choices we make now will shape the world our children inherit. The challenge is immense, but it clarifies what's at stake. It calls for unity, innovation, and a willingness to rethink how we live with nature's limits. We must build resilience that doesn't burden the planet further, finding hope in community and strength in collective action as we face an uncertain future together. Sudan's war since 2023 is a portrait of total systems collapse. Hospitals destroyed, famine widespread, and basic services gone. This is what happens when systems fail completely. Yet, in the void, community becomes the only system that matters. Locals step up, creating solutions out of necessity. Mobile clinics run by local nurses bring care where there are no hospitals. Midwives deliver babies in makeshift shelters. Community groups protect children and support survivors. And these are not formal programs, but acts of solidarity. Sudan's tragedy is also a testament to human resilience. When all else fails, communities care for their own. Even in collapse, hope is found in collective action. The lesson, community, is our last and strongest line of defense. Systems collapse can happen inside a single institution. In Alabama's prisons, order and safety have vanished. The system meant to uphold justice has become a source of chaos. Guards are overwhelmed, violence is rampant, inmates, abandoned by the system, organized for survival. They use contraband phones to document abuses and build networks. They become journalists and activists behind bars. Their resistance is a microcosm of community-led solutions. When official systems fail, people build their own. Even in the darkest places, collective action creates hope. In response to unreliable power, the neighborhood solar grid is rising. Neighbors pool resources, install solar panels, and share energy. Shared batteries keep the lights on, even when the main grid fails. This is more than technology. It's a shift in how we relate to energy. Power returns to the community, requiring cooperation and shared planning. Neighbors become partners in resilience. Local grids are less vulnerable to widespread failures. A storm may darken a city, but the solar neighborhood stays lit. The neighborhood grid is a hopeful, practical vision. Our power comes from down the street, not far away. Resilience is built on relationships. The future of energy is local, shared, and strong. Community is the new source of power. The same spirit driving local energy is transforming food and health. People are turning to backyard gardens, food co-ops, and community clinics. Community gardens flourish in parks and empty lots. Neighbors share seeds, trade produce, and teach each other. Food co-ops source locally, shortening and strengthening supply chains. Local clinics, run by community health workers, handle basic care and build trust. These initiatives put control back in people's hands. Systems based on proximity and mutual aid are rising. It's not a rejection of expertise, but a rebalancing. The most resilient solutions are built together, close to home. Community is the foundation of security and well-being. The world feels uncertain, and it's easy to be overwhelmed by headlines about crisis and collapse. But if we only focus on what's falling apart, we miss the deeper, more hopeful story unfolding all around us. The true story is about creation, about people coming together, to build, to heal, and to imagine new possibilities. It's not just about endings, but about beginnings, about the quiet, determined work of renewal. We're shifting from passive consumers to active creators, from waiting for solutions to making them with our own hands. Every day, more people are stepping up to shape the future they want to see. Reliance on distant, impersonal systems is giving way to reliance on each other. We're rediscovering the power of community, of neighbors supporting neighbors, and of local action making a real difference. This is not regression, but progress toward a more human, connected future. It's about reclaiming agency and finding meaning in shared purpose. Our strength is in coming together, sharing skills and caring for one another. Neighborhood solar grids, community gardens, and local clinics are just a few examples of how we're building resilience from the ground up. These are seeds of a new world, planted with hope and nurtured by collective effort. These acts of collaboration and care are growing everywhere, in cities and towns, across generations and cultures. Hope doesn't come from grand gestures, but from millions of small, collaborative efforts that add up to real change. We're building a stronger, more resilient world from the ground up, one project, one relationship, one act of kindness at a time. When old systems crumble, we don't have to crumble with them. Instead, we can rise together, supporting each other through challenges and setbacks. We can build something better in their place, something rooted in care, creativity, and shared responsibility. This new world is built by many hands, working together at dawn, forging a future that belongs to all of us.